Hi everybody, this is John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com, and today we're going to discuss how to get started in the swingers lifestyle. And this discussion is really for those new couples out there that are maybe thinking about it, or maybe one of them's thinking about it and doesn't know how to broach the subject with their partner. And Jackie and I have experience in how we got started. We want to share that with you today. And I know this is so redundant, we've said it over and over again, but the number one most important part to getting involved in the swinger lifestyle is to communicate with your partner. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, most of the couples that I talk to that are new to our club or that I have the opportunity to visit with, I'm always really interested in how they got started or what brought them to the club. And invariably, it's, one of them will have finally worked up the courage to say something to their partner about, maybe wanting to try it. And the thing that always gets me is they're usually kind of surprised at the response of their partner. Their partner is usually, okay.
Yeah, or I was thinking the same thing. And so it really is talking about it and talking about what you want to get out of it. And it might have to do with the fantasy that you have. And if it does, which in Jackie and I's case it was a fantasy that we shared, we kind of practiced it in bed on our own. We pretended or talked about the fantasy that we had while her and I were in bed together. And when you see that you're both getting turned on, or you're feeling turned on, and you see your partner is, you're on the right track.
Yeah. So, and some of that is about, kind of letting go of some of those fears of, whether you want to call it role playing or what, about really talking about some things that you want to try with each other.
Yeah.
So.
And you brought up role playing. Role playing is a good way to do it. If I, for instance, want to see how it's going to make me feel if Jackie's with another man, then I can have her pretend I'm somebody else in bed and see how that really does make me feel. And it worked. Well, for me, it was a big turn on, and that's what helped us to cross that line. So definitely fantasizing about it in private is a good way to kind of test the waters. Mm-hmm. And then you need to decide where you want to try swinging. I mean, you have options out there. You can go to a swingers club in your area. If you're in Dallas or New Orleans, you can check out Colette. There are plenty of adult social networking sites. They're kind of like swingers dating sites. Swingers Date Club, for instance, SDC.com, for instance. Right. So you may need to make a decision if you want to go meet people in person and kind of play the field there, or if you want to go out on some dates, have coffee, see if you guys hit it off with another couple, or the single, if you want to have a threesome, and see where that takes you. So that's the next step, is making that decision about where you want to try the swingers lifestyle. And then it's really important to set some boundaries, I think.
Absolutely. Well, and because you're going to, when you try this is new territory. So you're not really sure what you're going to like or what you're not going to like, or what you're going to want to do or what you're not going to want to do, because you don't have anything to base it on.
What's going to freak you out?
It is. Yeah. So, and I think it's, like John said, it's just really important to sit down and say, okay, so we're going to try this out. This is, maybe we've decided we're going to go into a club. So what are we going to do when we get in there? And, it doesn't have to be pages and pages of rules. It can just be a handful of things, because you can say, well, we're just going to go into the club and we're going to have a drink and we're just going to sit there and observe. That can be your first night. And then once you get past that, you can move forward, and your rules may get longer or they may get shorter depending on what you decide.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I see some couples, one of their boundaries might be no kissing, or right, no French kissing, or whatever it is. So that's your boundary. You go in there, but then somebody comes up to your wife and gives her a kiss and she's not able to turn away in time, and you see that it turns you on, then you can expand that boundary and say, you know what? Let's forget the kissing thing. I think it'll be fine. You can move on from there. Jackie mentioned going into the club and just having drinks and meeting people. And I think that's really important, to lower your expectations. I see couples a lot of times get really frustrated because they have this expectation in their mind. They're going to come to the club, meet this hot couple, have this wild sex, go home, and then, it's just going to be, everything's going to be great. And it doesn't always turn out that way. You may go in there and you may, get really shy. You might not meet the right couple. And so lower those expectations so you're still able to have a good time. Let's just go in there and try and meet some people and see what happens.
Right. And just because you're coming into a swingers club does not mean by any stretch of the imagination that you have to engage in anything. And I would like to think that that's not what keeps people from coming to the club, is that they feel like they have to have some, there has to be some kind of a performance. Absolutely not. You can just come in and enjoy yourself. And then later on, if things happen and unfold, that's great. If they don't, that's great too, because, and we've said this a bazillion times, this is about you and your partner and your relationship,
yes,
and about deepening those bonds and building a union with each other that you can be proud of, and you have each other's back. I mean, it's just a great support system.
Yeah.
So that's what the focus really is.
And when you do that, you'll find you just really enjoy it. You just enjoy your time together.
Yeah.
A place that Jackie and I, one of the things we do maybe to explore is to go on swingers vacations. And if you'd like to check out some that we're going on, go to our Sexy Stuff section on openlove101.com and look at the travel part, and you'll see some vacations that Jack and I are going to be taking soon, and we'd love you to come along. They're a lot of fun. It's a great way to meet new people, open-minded couples, and other swingers. Also, please give us your email address, and we'll update you periodically on blogs that we have coming out, or new trips that we have, or special parties and contests and so forth. So go to openlove101.com, give us your email address, and thanks for joining us today. See you soon.
See ya.